What's up, guys? Intelitech Studios here, and please pardon the relatively crude videography. But my leg, and for some reason the entire right side of my body is just not working today for whatever reason. So I can't really lift this box very well, so we're gonna open it right at the door, but that's okay. Machine inside also coincidentally is very heavy, so that's not gonna help. But I'll do the best I can because I want to go ahead and get this opened. So I bought this off of my lovely best friend, also known as... Oh, I did not like the sound that made. Okay, so... You ever notice when sound has a texture? That's probably just an autism thing. But, yeah, so... This came from my lovely friend known on the YouTubes as Dual Cyclonic. At least I think that's still correct. Link in the description. If I remember to link the channel. Hopefully I do. I've been better at that recently. And there is a ball animal 2 next to it, which is fitting. Because it's the only machine... Well, it's the first machine to really out-clean... Oh, let's not show that label. I do not want to show... Okay, so that's not his address, but still... It appears there's something in this box that's taped up, or maybe it's just an empty box. It's just an empty box. Okay. So, we got that. There's a carpet in here for some reason. Okay, that's nice. Another box. Oh, no address. Yeah, don't want to show that. Another box. There's something in there. Here we've got something. And here we've got the actual something. Will this pull straight up? Kind of. See if I can pull this out of here without hurting myself. That's the goal, at least. So, it's a Dyson. You probably figured that out by now. And it's a Dyson that I have owned before in some capacity. I had a purple one many years ago that had, or not many years ago, but a couple years ago that had the wrong cord on it. But I wanted a blue one, and I finally got one. So, this is the Dyson DC17. Specifically, oh no, there's a scratch right there. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, it's really scratched. Darn it. But, anyways, this is the DC17 in my favorite color, which is the light blue. It looks darker on camera, but in real life it's the lighter blue. There's two different blue cyclones for the 17. The one that looks like the more modern Dyson blue that's darker is the Total Clean, if I remember correctly. That could be wrong. But this is the one that I wanted, the Asthma and Allergy, which the allergy branding did not get used. Let me set this down. The Asthma and Allergy branding did not get used in the US very often for Dyson. Most of the time, they had different names. This one, however, was referred to as the Asthma and Allergy because it gives you asthma and allergies. But yeah, so it's a Dyson DC17. So I have another one of these to the collection. That cyclone's really scratched. But I guess I can live with it. For the price, I can definitely live with it. Because this is frankly, like, pretty refurbed very well. Like, it's very clean. And I got it for a very reasonable price. So I'm not complaining at all. I mean, this is about as clean as something I would sell. So, love the green painter's tape on the hose. So that way, hopefully, it doesn't leave any residue. Is this painter's tape or is this frog tape? It doesn't matter. So hopefully that means no residue. Okay. Awesome. So there's our hose. Very clear. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. Frankly, this is better than some of the things I've refurbed, although it's possible it might have started out cleaner, who knows. But yeah, got a reasonably clear brush roll window. We've got our blue Cyclone for the asthma and allergy. What is this model from? Does this have a date code on it? Oh, this one's a Dyson remanufactured. I've actually never had a remanufactured Dyson. Oh no, that's a lie. I remember now. I've had like one or two. I've definitely seen this sticker before, but an older model like this, I don't think I've had an older model that's been rebuilt. I could be wrong, but yeah. So that's quite nice. This one was manufactured on the 17th week of 2010, or remanufactured, we'll say. So which means this is one of the newer DC17s, which is great because it means it should not have the same gasket issue that the older 17s had. Because the old 17s had issues with the gaskets failing and getting a lot of dirt all the way through the Cyclone pack and into the premotor filter, which is right here. Very nice. Generic replacement, I believe. Quite nice. Beautiful. I do need to get a proper filter for my DC18, although technically I can just put a 25 filter in it and call it a day, which I probably will. And we do have a new, he did say there's a new HEPA filter in here, and this is quite a pain to get. Why does that look warped? Or if the screw's too tight. But this is a pain to get in. I've replaced these filters before. Trying to line them up and get them clicked in is really annoying, so I'm not going to touch that. But yeah, and of course a reasonably clear bin, a couple scrapes, but nothing too crazy. It's like just the amount of scratched up enough that I have no problems using it, but it's not so scratched up that I'm like, ew. So it's a nice little balance. And of course I always could find another one of these and replace those parts if it really did bother me. But yeah, not a problem, honestly. Again, for the $125 I paid, I'm very happy. Look at that hose. That is beautiful. Is that a brand new hose? This feels very silky. This has to be a brand new hose. There's no way this is not a brand new hose. Alright, so let's... Oh, I just whacked my phone. So let's grab the wand and the attachments and we'll put this together. And yeah. Alright, so now we've got to open up or unwrap the wand. And this is a newer wand. There are two different types of wands for the DC17, DC18, DC14, all the Dysons of that era. This is the newer design with the ridges on the side, with the little like grip ridges, and then there's an original design with like a little like loop on it. That's kind of hard to describe. I could go grab a DC14 or something. You get the idea. If you saw them, you would know what I mean. But yes, that's the only thing that I like about the older ones, is I like the loop on it. I feel like these ridges are kind of hard on the fingers and can be a little annoying, but it's definitely nitpicky for sure. We gotta find the tape on this and cut it. Of course, that's off camera. You couldn't even see that, but. There we go. We can unwrap that. There's our wand with a proper cord hook. And just like my DC18, it's got some scuffs right there, so whoever the previous owner was prior to getting this, this definitely was dropped on this handle at some point. But many of you are... Oh, and I guess we'll go ahead and unwrap the attachments too while we're down here. That should be simple enough. Oh, there's a crevice tool. dusting brush, which is, wow, very nice. This actually looks NOS. The bristles are kind of worn. Not worn, but warped. That's nice. And I actually do have a set for a DC17. This crevice tool looks new as well. Okay, that's nice. Genuine Dyson, too, so not cheap. And then we'll see if the upholstery tool is new. But even if it's not, I actually have a new one that goes with it. And it is. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of strange. The lint pickers are perfect, which implies that it's new. But this whole bar here is quite scratched. Kind of strange. Almost like it wasn't used, but was like thrown across, like skidded across concrete or something. Like someone tried to rock skip with this. But yeah, okay. So, now we've got to put this together. Yeah, so there's our Dyson. So we're going to take our hose and put the wand in. It'll click into place. And then we're going to put it right there. Line it up and it clicks in. And the wand just, wow, just slid down with zero resistance at all. So you can tell that wand's been worn down a fair bit over the years, because there is supposed to be a bit of resistance there. And then all the small tools go right here. Crevice tool, that's just like a DC14 that goes on there. The dusting brush is kind of strange. It like clips in. Which way does it go? I think it faces towards the back. So it clips in right there, and those clips like to break a lot. And then the upholstery tool or stair tool, just like a DC18, clips in right there. Or just like a modern Dyson, really, like a 33 or anything like that. It clips in. So, very nice. Now, of course, I'm not going to do a full living room demo with this because, like I said, I can't push very many things right now. I'm in a little bit of pain. So, I'm going to attempt to... Ooh, the cord's really nice, too. There's no nicks or tears or anything. Not so far, at least. Yeah. I'm giving it a quick look. It looks good enough for sure. The sanitaire is plugged in right now. That's the only thing. Is it plugged in? Yeah, the sanitaire is plugged in. So I'm going to have to unplug that to plug in the 17, which I think I will do real quick, just to give it a short... Ooh, that's really tore up down there. Oh, wait, no. That's the diagram for clearing clogs. I always forget the 17 doesn't have a lot of the checkpoints that the 14s do, which is kind of strange. That's actually one of the best parts of the upright Dyson platform of yesteryear, is the many checkpoints. For some reason, Dyson removed those on the 17, or at the very least, it's not as obvious. This actually looks loose. No, that's correct. Yeah. So I don't know if there is a check, if these are still checkpoints, but they're not as obvious as the older Dysons. Even though this is technically an older Dyson. 2010. How long ago was 2010? 15 years almost? Wow. Yeah, almost 15 years was 2010. Also, you can always tell when the previous owner used the wand without the attachments on it. When the wand cap, wow, you're not going to see that very well, are you? But especially on these 17s. And also there were some 14s as well with this style of handle. Ignore the clutter in the background. But you can tell that there's a gap where the wand cap doesn't quite reach the wand. Like, you can push it down to touch it, but there's a gap right there because the wand itself is just worn down. I do have a replacement one of these from a 14, but it's for a 14, so it's not as long. So it doesn't quite... Well, I guess I should specify it's for a 14 with the original 14 handle, because there were 14s with this handle. But one way that Dyson made the 14s with this handle feel crappier is they didn't give you the grip back here, which made them more comfortable to use in tool mode. So, alright, so that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's unplug the sanitaire, which is plugged in just right there. And we're going to give this a very, 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 very quick run. Alright. So we'll give this a very, very quick run just to see how well it runs. So here's the funny thing. As I mentioned, the previous DC17 I had, the one I got from Marco, that one was the animal. I didn't like it. It was really bulky. It was really difficult to push. And yeah, it had the wrong cord on it, but I didn't think that would affect it. It just didn't. It was very loud. It didn't seem to clean all that well, even after I shimmed the brush roll and everything. And I was convinced that I didn't like the DC17. But I don't know if that's just because that was an older one and this was a newer one. I actually don't remember what version that previous one was. But this one is so much nicer. First off, the motor sounds like, whoa, what did it get? Okay, not bad at all. Got some stuff. What was I saying? Yeah, some dirt, some dust, some fine stuff in there. Okay, not bad. Let's see if the cyclone failed. Nope, filter looks good. Alright, so what was I saying? So, the previous one, the previous DC17 I had, which, for the record, I had never owned a DC17 prior to the channel. This is my second DC17 that I've ever seen, or had, or owned, or even worked, or even like just simply like seen in person, like in real life. I mean, obviously I've seen store displays and stuff, but even though I fixed a lot of vacuums, I never had a customer bring me a DC17 ever. Don't know why. Maybe they just didn't need it. Maybe the people that had their DC17s didn't trust me enough to work on them. Who knows? I mean, I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. Maybe I was too young back when it was relevant for me to fix them, for people to be comfortable with me fixing them. I fixed a lot of DC24s, a lot of DC07s, DC14s. Again, it's strange. A lot of DC24s and a few DC18s and maybe one or two DC15s. Like, again, we're talking prior to the YouTube channel, which was in 2015. So that's the first 10 years of me fixing vacuums. Never worked on a DC17, never worked on a DC25, never worked on any Dyson canister, just 07s, 14s, maybe one or two 15s, but I honestly can't say. A few 18s and a lot of 24s. A lot of 24s, a lot of 14s, a lot of 07s. No 17s. And I technically no 33s either, because they weren't really out much yet at that point. I mean, yes, they existed for a number of years, but just hadn't really got one in. So I was going blind as far as experience with the DC17. And the fact that everyone loves it, I thought, when I used the previous DC17 Animal, I thought, which I reviewed a while ago, maybe a year ago at this point, a year or two ago. I think probably a year ago at this point, I think is when I reviewed it. I didn't like it as much. I mean, yes, it was a good machine. I still thought it was great for Dyson standards, but it wasn't my favorite. And those were the reasons why. I felt it handled kind of weird. The literal handle, I didn't like. I complained about that a lot because it just wasn't comfortable combined with the weight. I felt like it wasn't really a great design. But this one is a night and day difference. This one glides effortlessly. It's easy to use. Even though it's a heavy machine, like a Dyson is supposed to be, it's perfectly balanced. So pushing it and pulling it is damn near effortless, which is great. Even better than the DC18, which makes sense because the DC18 has a motor that's mounted up above the joint, which obviously is very atypical for Dysons. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm happy with this. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing a review on this because the Asthma+Allergy DC17 is literally just the animal with more attachments. And we don't even have the matching attachments. I've passed up buying DC17 attachment sets, like the extended attachment set that matches, several times. And I guarantee now that I want one, I'm not going to find one. Because so many people had the low reach floor tool and the mini turbine head, which those I do own, but not the 17 colored ones. They're still 1.25 inch, but they're just the darker, like clear color without the fancy purple and yellow and all that stuff. So, but obviously there's no practical reason for getting those. I already own those attachments already. Especially the low reach floor tool. I have probably like 6 or 7 of those at this point. But either way, not the point. So this thing is awesome. And also the brush roll appears to be better. This appears to have a genuine Dyson brush roll in it. And the last one I had, it felt like it cleaned well, don't get me wrong. But it still felt like it didn't clean as well as the newer Dyson Ball UP13 and newer. And I can't exactly say for sure yet if that's incorrect. My gut instinct still says that overall, the Ball Animal and Animal 2 clean better in the DC17, but I don't think it's really I don't have enough evidence to say that it's for sure still true. Or I should say, I guess I should say the other way around. I don't have enough evidence yet to disprove that based on my initial assessment. Because I do think the Animal 2 and 3 would have a little bit more fine dust in here, just a little bit more, and a little bit more sand and grit. But that's just mainly speculation. Animal 3, for a fact, cleans better than every other Dyson. If for no other reason, the fact there's no breaks in the bristles, because that obviously has a big effect on practical real-world cleaning. But yeah. Anyways, that's just my random rant that I always make about these Dysons. Now that I own this again, I will very much at some point do a comparison between this and the DC27, which is obviously the most analogous replacement to this machine, and see which one's better. I think the 28, for the longest of time, I felt the 28 was better. Now that I like this one a lot more than the last one, we'll see if that holds true. I haven't used the 27 in at least a year and change at this point. But I've been getting a lot of Dysons recently, can't you tell? So, a lot of Dyson content. But yeah. And it's kind of cool because I have a light blue Dyson now. So I've got a Dyson in pretty much every color at this point. I've got red Dyson. I think the Dysons I have the most of are red. Because I've got the UP16 Slim Ball that's in red. I've got the DC25 that's in red that I actually just bought. I need to put some filters in. And the... wasn't there a third red one that I'm blanking on? Oh yeah, and the 27 that I just mentioned, yeah, because the Cyclone's red on that. So yeah, enough rambling. This was just a quick video on the DC17 Asthma+Allergy. Although I don't know if since it's a rebuilt one, does it not use that suffix? Is it just DC17? Just color may vary. That's probably what it is. But who friggin' knows at this point? This is Intelitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace. And let me know what you want to see next. There's a lot of videos I have planned, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it, if that makes sense. So hopefully these videos are a good stopgap until I get the motivation. To put it bluntly, until I get the motivation to dig out the Daredevil eye and do a video on it, because I really want to, but I keep forgetting. Anyways. Have a good one. Peace.